Thanks, David. It's true, we're at a turning point. Public chains were once seen as too risky for institutions, and now it's too risky for institutions not to integrate them with their business. Institutions have truly embraced blockchain and are finally launching real products on public chains, including the Xrp ledger. And Xrpl is evolving to meet that demand. Over the past year, a number of key features have gone live, ranging from the automated market maker to decentralized identity, price oracles, and clawback. And we have others that are still in voting: credentials, MPTs, permission domains. These features are foundational infrastructure for building secure, transparent, and scalable financial products. And we're not just modernizing finance, we're making it more inclusive, accessible, and programmable. And we're finally seeing real traction. Xrpl is supporting real-world applications ranging from payments to yield generation, all decentralized and at scale.
Alrighty, everybody, what is going on? Welcome back to another CYPRX video breakdown. This is going to be part 2 of the previous video breakdown, continuing to show you guys that the TVL and the DeFi ecosystem on the XRP is about to scale massively over the next consecutive couple of months. As you heard Jazzy Cooper in this is going to be a fast video breakdown. It is more risky for institutions not to participate in DeFi and on public blockchains than it is for them to participate in the DeFi ecosystem. And now for the first time ever, we're seeing yield generation being unlocked. With that being said, if we come over here to the XLR Network's recent post, they posted this: get ready for a new kind of DeFi summer on the XRP ledger. Interestingly enough, previously, the XLR ecosystem reposted something that I had posted about on June 8th, just a couple of days ago, mentioning that XLR is building out the compliant infrastructure to enable regulated DeFi and not to sleep on XLR, where they said regulated finance is entering the chat. Mementos gives banks their privacy and XLR gives them secure access to public liquidity. The compliant bridge between TradFi and DeFi is being built and powered by XLR. And so if we come over here to a recent post from XLR Network, they said that this is so simple that many people will miss it. $200 billion in liquidity is being unlocked. XRP Ledger plus XLR soon. And this is a previous panel discussion with the co-founder of XLR and David Schwartz, where they went on to talk about how excited they are to unlock DeFi primitives that have never been available to XRP holders that are going to become available for the first time ever.
You can allow them to move the asset without friction across chains. But the one thing I'm most excited about happening on Xrpl is finally opening up DeFi opportunities for for XRP, right? Again, it's the biggest asset with one of the biggest communities that doesn't have DeFi, right? And being able to use this asset productively in DeFi, I think it's going to be a big thing. One very exciting integration that's coming up is with Xrpl, and a lot of people are familiar with Xrpl, the company. Many people are familiar also with Xrpl, which is the XRP ledger, where the XRP currency resides. And they have a new initiative where they're launching a new EVM chain to bring DeFi to the Ripple ecosystem. They have a new stablecoin, and they're going to be using XLR to bridge over XRP from the XRP ledger to the XRP ledger sidechain. It's an EVM sidechain, so that people can use it for gas to use the chain. So anyone who's going to be using DeFi on the EVM sidechain of Xrpl will have to use XLR to pay for gas. And we're talking about one of the biggest assets in the space. Again, $200 billion asset in FDV. And to my knowledge, that's the biggest asset that picked the canonical interoperability solution to bridge to another ecosystem, and they picked XLR.
This is one of the co-founders of the XLR ecosystem. Interestingly enough, he actually follows me, which I think is pretty cool. He said that XRP has surpassed $200 billion in FDV, yet has remained isolated from most DeFi opportunities. When holders can't put assets to productive use, it harms adoption, right? And so this, interestingly enough, unlocks a certain aspect of utility for XRP as a digital asset. And most XRP holders don't know this because it has not been available to us to generate yield on our XRP over the past consecutive years. However, this is all changing. With Persist and the EVM sidechain capabilities, they just posted out, it is coming. The XRP Ledger sidechain that is compatible with the Ethereum virtual machine is set to go live in second quarter. Somebody under this comment said, so we're just days away from going live on mainnet, and Piersist responded back to this, it looks like it. Well, if we come over here back to this post where they said the one and only David Schwartz and Ripple's Jazzy Cooper announced the XRPL EVM sidechain is going live in Q2 at Apex, featuring some DeFi apps like Xrpl Finance, Vertex Protocol, Secure Labs, and Squid Router, all building on it. If we pause and we go back to Xrpl Finance, do you guys remember a panel discussion, a video breakdown that I showed you all just a few days ago with one of the tech leads from Xrpl Finance sitting down with the host to break down how Xrpl will bring native XRP yield to life via the XRPL, XLR, and EVM sidechain?
The initial goal or the initial focus of XRPL being more towards institutional involvement as opposed to DeFi specifically, which is a shift and a trend that's sort of making an emergence on the XRPL currently. And that's kind of in some way opened the door for Xrpl, would you say?
Yeah, that's right. So far, XRP Ledger has been focused more on, let's say, payment solutions for businesses or institutions. But right now, they're making a move. And what is very important right now is that there's a lot of dormant capital sitting at all those CXs. XRP's market cap is hitting above $100 billion, but only a few tens of million dollars are actually available on XRP Ledger right now. So the rest is actually outside of XRP Ledger. So all those money, all that money is actually available for us to do something about, right? Yeah.
And so following on from that, with that door now being opened, could you tell us a little bit about what Xrpl is? What does it do? How does it work? And how people can sort of put their assets to work through it?
Right. So Xrpl Finance is a decentralized liquidity and yield protocol. So it is designed to unlock both retail and institutional DeFi opportunities on the XRP Ledger by taking advantage of the newly developed EVM sidechain. So Xrpl's flagship product will be our money markets, where we'll be providing yield-bearing infrastructure to XRP holders.
So what I find interesting is that you have one of the lead developers of the XRPL on stage at Apex making these announcements via these DeFi protocols that are being built out on the XRPL EVM sidechain, like literally announced from David Schwartz, but you will still have people in the comments saying, oh, this isn't real, this isn't happening, we're not going to be able to earn and generate yield on our XRP. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to wake up. It is time to have a mindset shift, and it is time to start learning how to get your digital assets to work for you. That is my spiel for this two-part video series. Everything that we have been saying here in the CYPRX community is starting to materialize at a very rapid pace, and it is because we do the due diligence, we do the research. If this is your first video breakdown surrounding yield generation and you've never heard that ability before, well, head over to the CYPRX playlist that's titled Yield and tap in, start to watch that. There's over 60 free video breakdowns that you can go and tap into to start to wrap your head around what is available to us as retail holders of these digital assets to start to put these assets to work and generate us passive income. If you guys ever want to take your education a step further and push past the free information, you want to see how we are earning yield on our idle digital assets right now in this moment through DeFi primitives and strategies, head over to CYPRXtrading.com. We'd love to have you in the Wealth 28 Club. And with that in mind, I will see you guys in the next video breakdown.